Good evening, everyone. This is Dean Harper coming to you live from Outpost Radio. We've got breaking reports coming in, and it's about the EMP.
I'm here with Ivy Gray as we settle into what should be a regular hour of music, news, and late-night chatter. Ivy, it's quiet tonight, isn't it? Almost unnervingly quiet. Normally at this hour, you hear the distant traffic, late-night chatter in the city, the occasional siren or passing train. But tonight, it feels like the world's holding its breath. Even in the studio, there's a stillness that you can't quite tune out. Ivy, I don't know if it's the airwaves or just my imagination, but I can feel the pause in the usual hum of the night.
Quiet, Dean, but in a way that feels different. Almost too quiet, yes. Listeners, if you're tuning in, welcome. You're getting the usual late-night mix of music and news, but there's something subtle in the background you might notice. A faint hum on the line, barely audible, nothing alarming, nothing unsafe, just a reminder that the airwaves are alive, that we're here, that someone is listening alongside you. Dean, I can hear the hum in our monitors too, just barely. It's almost like the radio is breathing, isn't it? Not mechanical, not static, but a living pulse. And I know it's probably nothing, but it's impossible not to notice in the silence.
Exactly, Ivy. And for our listeners at home, if you're noticing it too, don't panic. It's subtle, but it's real. That's the strange thing about nights like this. You begin noticing things that normally fade into background noise. Even the tiniest sound feels amplified. Ivy, I don't know if it's the calm or the city, but everything out there, every light, every distant movement, seems sharper tonight. Almost like the night itself is listening along with us.
Dean, that's exactly what it feels like. There's a tension to this quiet, a kind of anticipation that makes you hyper-aware. And listeners, it's normal to notice the smallest details on nights like this. Your refrigerator humming, the faint whir of your computer, the distant rumble of the city. They all feel connected tonight, almost synchronized with the subtle pulse we're picking up in the studio. Dean, I can't help but think that this is one of those nights where the ordinary becomes extraordinary just because we're paying attention. And you can hear it too if you're listening closely.
Absolutely, Ivy. And that's why we're here, to be the voices in the quiet, to share the calm and the attentiveness, and to guide you through whatever unfolds. Late-night listeners often know this feeling, that strange awareness when the world seems to hold its breath. Ivy, tonight it's amplified. Every sound, every flicker of light, every subtle hum, it all feels meaningful, like the night itself is waiting for something to happen. And for the next hour, that's exactly what we'll explore together, noticing, observing, and sharing with you every tiny signal that comes our way.
Exactly, Dean. And to everyone tuned in, thank you for joining us tonight. Keep your ears open, pay attention to the subtle details, and know that we're right here with you. We'll share the music, the news, and the chatter, but also these small moments of stillness. Because sometimes the quiet tells a story of its own. Dean, I think listeners are already leaning in, listening closer than usual, just waiting to hear something. And that's okay. Tonight we'll hold that quiet together.
That's right, Ivy. So sit back, keep your radios on, and let's settle into this hour. The night is long, the city is quiet, and the airwaves are alive. Ivy, let's see where this quiet takes us tonight. Together with our listeners, observing, noticing, and sharing every small pulse of the night. Exactly, Ivy. Everything seems normal. But you know how nights like this make a person pause. The kind of stillness that makes you check the clocks a few times, just to make sure time's still moving the way it should. Listeners, if you're out there in the city, the suburbs, or somewhere on a back road under a dark sky, take a deep breath with us. The streetlights are steady, the air's cool, no storms on the radar, and yet there's this weight in the quiet, like the air itself is holding something it doesn't want to say. You can feel it if you stop and listen long enough. Ivy, I don't know what it is, but this kind of calm doesn't come often.
Yes, Dean. It's the calm before anything, that perfect stillness where even the smallest sound feels louder. And right now, we're just here to guide you through it. The music, the news, the updates, all of it. But what really matters is that there's still a voice on the other end of the signal, a voice that says you're not alone out there. Dean, I think that's what I love about these shifts with you. It's like we're standing on a quiet hill together, watching the world breathe. Somewhere out there, people are sitting in cars, kitchens, bedrooms, just listening, maybe not even realizing how connected we all are in this silence.
You're right, Ivy. It's strange, isn't it? How something as simple as radio can hold so much presence. Just a few watts of power bouncing between antennas, and suddenly there's comfort. It's funny. With everything going digital, people forget that radio waves don't need much to travel. They move through the dark without wires, through walls, through distance. They just exist. And on a night like this, that almost feels reassuring. Even if something feels off, even if the air feels thick, the signal's still moving, from here to wherever you are.
Exactly, Dean. It's almost poetic. These invisible waves carrying words across the quiet. And it's nice to imagine someone out there maybe driving down a dim highway, maybe sitting by a window, hearing this and knowing someone else feels it too. Nights like this, they remind us how small and how connected we are at the same time. So if you're listening, keep your radio on. Let's see what the night brings.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Ivy. Stick with us, everyone. You're tuned in to Radio Central, and we'll be right here with you. Through the quiet, through the static, through whatever this night decides to become. Couldn't agree more, Ivy. For our listeners, remember, tonight is just like any other night. Nothing official to report, yet. But if you hear anything unusual, flickering lights, strange signals, even your devices acting up, keep it in mind, note it. Ivy, did you notice the slight lag in the teleprompter earlier? Just a fraction of a second, barely measurable?
I did, Dean. Tiny things, probably nothing, but the world has a way of speaking through little signals like that. For everyone tuned in, consider tonight your calm observation window. Listen to the air, your surroundings, your own intuition. Dean, I think we'll be hearing more unusual reports soon, but for now, let's keep the lights on, the music flowing, and the conversation steady.
Absolutely. And to all of you out there, remember, keep your radios on, keep each other company. We'll bring you updates as they come, and Ivy, I promise, if anything shifts, we'll both be the first to let the world know. But until then...
We sit together on the edge of a quiet night, sharing this moment with you, our listeners. It may feel ordinary, but ordinary is precious, Dean, especially when it's fleeting.
That's right, Ivy. Stay tuned, everyone. You're listening live, and we'll be here keeping the connection through the night. Welcome back, everyone. Dean Harper here, still on the air with Ivy Gray. Ivy, we're starting to get a few reports coming in from around the country. Small electrical anomalies, flickering streetlights, brief power blips. Nothing catastrophic yet, but the pattern, it's odd, don't you think?
Absolutely, Dean. Just a few minutes ago, I saw a message from a listener in Portland. They said the lights in their building dimmed 3 times in under a minute, then returned to normal. At first glance, it's easy to dismiss. Maybe a transformer hiccup. But the messages aren't isolated. We're seeing similar reports from Denver, Boston, even some rural areas in Texas. Dean, that's unusual, isn't it?
Very unusual. Normally, these blips are random, isolated, caused by weather or old infrastructure. But tonight, it's scattered across thousands of miles, almost like a wave moving faster than anything we can track. And it's subtle enough that people might not even notice it unless they're paying attention, Ivy.
Exactly, Dean. And speaking of attention, listeners, if you're noticing anything, your lights flickering, your devices restarting, unexpectedly strange static in the radio, don't panic. Keep notes. Record the times. We're gathering reports, and every little detail matters. Dean, I just got a text from an engineer at the local grid. They're seeing minor surges, but nothing they can explain yet. They're baffled.
And that's the word, Ivy. Baffled. Engineers, power companies, even some amateur radio enthusiasts are scratching their heads tonight. The signals aren't consistent enough to predict, but they're definitely out there. Faint hums, momentary spikes. Sometimes you can hear it if you're near the radio. a low-frequency vibration that doesn't match anything in the usual broadcast spectrum.
Dean, I think that's what's unnerving a lot of people tuning in tonight. These aren't just reports of lights going out. It's subtle, pervasive, and strangely rhythmic in some cases. Listeners in Chicago reported a pattern of 3 flickers every 47 seconds. In Seattle, someone noted 4 brief pulses repeating every 2 minutes. Different places, slightly different patterns, but all precise. Dean, it's like the world is trying to get our attention in tiny, careful doses.
And that's exactly why we're keeping this channel open, Ivy. So many people are experiencing this alone, at home, wondering if they're imagining it. We can't confirm the cause yet, but having a voice on the air, having both of us here, means you're not alone. Listeners, keep your radios on, your devices close, and share what you notice. Every detail adds to the picture, and tonight, every piece of information matters.
And Dean, it's not just power grids. We're seeing reports from amateur radio operators picking up strange, low-frequency pulses. Some static patterns that repeat in ways that don't seem random. People are calling them clicks, hums, even whispers. We don't know what it is, but the fact that multiple sources across continents are picking up anomalies, it's unprecedented.
Unprecedented, Ivy. And that word alone is enough to make you sit up straight to double-check everything, to keep your focus. For our listeners, tonight is unusual, yes. But this station, and Ivy and I, we're here to keep you informed, calm, and connected. Keep observing, keep noting, and stay tuned. If these signals intensify or change, you'll hear it here first.
Exactly, Dean. And to everyone listening, don't panic. Keep your family close, your devices ready, and your minds open. This is just the beginning of what could be a very strange night. We'll stay on the air, keep the lines open, and guide you through it together.
Right, Ivy. I'm looking at that same bulletin now, and the phrasing is what really stands out. Localized irregularities detected across multiple grid sectors, caused under investigation. That's the kind of language they use when they don't want to say what's really on their minds yet. Listeners, if you're noticing flickering lights, brief power resets, or even your devices acting a little off, you're not imagining it. We're getting confirmation from several regions across the country reporting the same. The pattern started small, scattered, but it's spreading in a rhythm that doesn't match standard grid fluctuation. Ivy, you can almost feel the collective pause from everyone reading these updates.
Exactly, Dean. There's a tone tonight, in the official statements, in the chatter online, even in the calls we've been receiving, that says everyone's trying not to jump to conclusions, but everyone's thinking the same thing. Something's different. And yes, Dr. Ortiz's comment stood out to me too. A geomagnetic disturbance is the logical explanation. It's measurable, familiar. But even she admitted there are signals embedded in the readings that don't behave like solar interference. Frequencies repeating too precisely, too evenly spaced. And when someone like her hesitates on live broadcast, you pay attention. Dean, we've both been in this field long enough to know scientists don't like saying we don't know.
They sure don't, Ivy. And when they do, it usually means they've exhausted every chart, every model, and still come up short. What's strange is how coordinated these anomalies are. We're seeing simultaneous disturbances in satellite networks, aviation channels, even deep-sea cables. That's not something solar winds normally do. And here's the part that's really puzzling. The background frequency of the interference is consistent. That's rare. Usually, natural interference drifts. This one's fixed like it's locked to something. Ivy, you're hearing that faint pulse in your headset, right? That low tone beneath the static?
Yes, Dean, I can hear it. Faint but steady. It's there even when we switch feeds. And just to clarify for listeners, we're not talking about a normal hum or studio feedback. It's subtle, right at the edge of perception, but it's constant. I can see the levels on the monitor, a rhythmic bump every few seconds. At first I thought it was a calibration issue, but now that we've checked with other stations, it seems they're picking it up too. It's as if the airwaves themselves are vibrating with something structured. Not random static, something deliberate.
That's what makes this so eerie, Ivy. The equipment's fine, the lines are clear, and yet the signal has a heartbeat. Listeners, we're not saying this is anything extraordinary, just unusual. The kind of anomaly that has experts staying late watching numbers scroll across their screens, scratching their heads. Ivy, I can't help but wonder if tonight's calm, that strange stillness we felt at the top of the hour, might be connected, like the world knew before we did that something was about to shift.
I've been thinking the same, Dean. There's a pattern to it all. The quiet, the hum, the reports from across the grid. Maybe it's a coincidence? Maybe it's something we'll explain by morning, but for now, the data doesn't lie. Something's moving through our systems, touching everything from the smallest household circuits to orbital satellites. And we're here, right at the center of it, watching the airwaves change in real time. Dean, whatever happens tonight, our listeners will hear it unfold with us second by second.
That's right, Ivy. And to those listening, stay with us. Keep your radios on, maybe grab a flashlight just in case. It's probably nothing. But then again, most big stories start with that same phrase. That's the right mindset, Ivy. Preparation, not panic. We've both seen how quickly uncertainty can turn into fear. The best thing we can do right now is stay clear-headed. I've been watching the grid reports as they update every few minutes, and there's an unmistakable rhythm to what's happening. It's as if the disturbances are moving geographically. Power fluctuations that began over the Pacific are now being logged over central regions, almost like a wave rolling eastward. Engineers describe it as synchronized voltage drop patterns. That doesn't happen by accident. And Major Callahan's point about this mimicking a high-altitude EMP, well, if that's accurate, we'd be looking at a cascade that moves across the globe in under an hour. Ivy, that puts us right on the edge of something no simulation could fully prepare us for.
That's what's so remarkable, Dean. We're watching systems that have been stable for decades respond in ways they weren't designed for. I've spoken with 2 grid analysts off-air. They told me their readings look almost intentional. Not random, not chaotic, but coordinated. Like something or someone is pressing on the infrastructure with precision. And yet they stop short of saying it's man-made. That's the restraint of professionals. They don't jump ahead of the data. But listeners, I want you to hear this clearly. The phrase coordinated pattern is not one we hear often outside of controlled experiments. The fact it's being used tonight means something extraordinary is in play.
And that's what's so hard to wrap our heads around. It's one thing when you can name the threat, a storm, a fault line, a malfunction. But this, it doesn't fit those categories. It's quiet, invisible. It's as if the entire planet's electrical heartbeat has found a new rhythm, and we're just trying to understand what's conducting it. Ivy, when I think of Major Callahan's tone, that calm, matter-of-fact delivery, it reminded me of someone looking at a clock winding down. He said, and I quote, "If it continues at this trajectory, within 60 minutes we'll experience global synchronization." That's a phrase that stopped me cold. Global synchronization. What does that even mean in this context?
It's chilling, Dean. From what I gather, synchronization in this sense could mean a cascading alignment. Every system reaching the same failure threshold at once. It's the scenario people theorize but rarely believe they'll witness. And yet, here we are watching the minutes tick closer. The most haunting part is how calm the data appears. It's steady, precise, almost graceful. That's what unnerves the scientists. Not the chaos, but the order. Nature doesn't usually behave like this. Dean, this might be one of those rare nights where science and mystery walk hand in hand.
Well said, Ivy. There's beauty in the unknown, even when it frightens us. And tonight, there's a strange beauty in this. Humanity united in observation. No politics, no borders, just millions of eyes on the same clock, listening to the same hum. I imagine somewhere a scientist in Tokyo is staring at the same waveform that a student in New York is analyzing right now. We're all connected by this invisible thread. And if this really is the hour before the global EMP, the quiet before the storm, then at least we'll face it together, awake and aware. Ivy, how are the lines looking? Are listeners still sending in reports?
They are, Dean, more than ever. I'm reading messages from listeners in rural areas saying the skies have a faint shimmer, like auroras in places that never see them. Others report that their digital clocks are freezing at random seconds, then restarting perfectly in sync. One listener from Norway said their power grid reset exactly on the hour, and then stabilized. No damage, just a clean restart. It's as if something's testing the limits without breaking them. People are unsettled, yes, but they're staying calm. That's what gives me hope tonight, humanity's ability to stay steady in uncertainty.
That's the spirit, Ivy. Listeners, stay tuned. Stay steady. Whatever happens next, we'll be right here with you. The hum you hear isn't just interference. It's the sound of a planet holding its breath. That's right, Ivy. Nights like this are why radio still matters. Not just as a source of information, but as a connection. The internet might stutter. Satellites might drift. Screens might go dark. But this voice, these airwaves, they reach farther than we sometimes realize. We've gotten messages from listeners tuning in on old shortwave sets, hand-cranked radios, even military-grade receivers that haven't been used in decades. They're all coming alive again tonight, forming this strange, beautiful network of humanity listening together. Ivy, it's almost poetic, isn't it? A world built on digital noise suddenly coming back to something so analog, so human.
It is poetic, Dean. There's something hauntingly grounding about it. Maybe it's how fragile our systems really are, or how resilient people become when the noise fades. I just read a listener's message from South Africa. They said the stars look brighter than usual tonight, like the sky itself is holding its breath with us. And I can't help but think, Dean, maybe that's the universe's way of watching, too. We look outward, trying to understand the cosmos, but tonight it feels like the cosmos is looking right back.
That's a powerful image, Ivy. And maybe that's what all of this is, a reminder of scale. We build, we calculate, we prepare, but sometimes the universe hands us a moment that can't be measured in volts or frequencies. This global anomaly, these synchronized pulses, this silence between the signals, it's as if something is trying to tell us to listen differently, to step back and hear the world, not just monitor it. Ivy, we're used to describing events, but this feels like witnessing a shift in perception itself.
Exactly. We're not just observers tonight, Dean. We're participants in something that's rewriting how we understand connection. Across continents, people are staring at the same flickering lights, hearing the same faint static patterns, and realizing that isolation was always an illusion. Whatever this is, natural, cosmic, or something else entirely, it's showing us how synchronized we already are. Not through machines, but through awareness. The data scientists will analyze the readings, but the rest of us will remember the feeling, that stillness, that hum.
You're right, Ivy. There's a resonance to it, not just in the systems, but in us. Every tone we hear through these monitors feels like it's echoing something deeper, like we've tuned into a frequency that was always there, waiting. Listeners, if you're hearing this, keep that radio close. It's more than sound now. It's your tether to the moment. And Ivy, I think that's why we're here. Not just to broadcast news, but to hold a mirror up to this strange, unfolding calm. To remind everyone that no matter how uncertain the hour, they're not alone.
Beautifully said, Dean. No one is alone tonight. The hum, the flicker, the silence. They're not just signals, they're reminders. That even as systems falter and lights dim, the human voice endures. We endure. And as long as we can speak, we'll keep speaking. Together through every pulse, through every second that remains.
Listeners, Dean Harper here, still live with Ivy Gray. We're starting to get calls coming in from you. The people on the ground tuning in from all over. Ivy, the first caller, is from Denver. They're reporting their lights flickered 3 times in the last 5 minutes and then a low hum they can't explain.
That's right, Dean. And the Denver caller mentioned that their car radio, normally static-free, started picking up this faint, repeating pulse. They said it's like a heartbeat, slow and steady. That's consistent with a few other reports we've received. Dean, I'm seeing a trend here, low-frequency pulses accompanying the electrical blips.
Exactly, Ivy. And the next caller is from New Orleans. She said the street lamps outside her house blinked in a synchronized pattern. 3 flickers, then a pause, repeated 5 times. She's worried, of course, and I don't blame her. I've been watching these patterns on the monitors myself. There's a precision to it that's unusual, Ivy.
It's more than unusual, Dean. It's almost as if the city itself is communicating in tiny, deliberate signals that only the observant can notice. Listeners, don't panic, but do pay attention. Every detail counts. Another caller from Boston says her phone and tablet both rebooted at the exact same time their lights flickered. Dean, that's not normal behavior.
Not normal at all, Ivy. And the Boston caller mentioned that the devices displayed a strange pattern briefly, like a ripple of static in the screen. Nothing readable, but repeating. Faint, precise, unsettling. Ivy, I can feel the tension building across the nation as these reports accumulate.
Absolutely, Dean. And more are coming in. Los Angeles, Minneapolis, Miami. Each caller describes the same strange combination of flickers, hums, pulses, different cities, different devices, same timing anomalies. It's global, Dean, not localized. The sheer scale is hard to grasp, but it's real.
Listeners, this is the reason we're keeping the channel open. To give voice to what's happening, to make sure no one feels isolated. Ivy, I can't stress enough how important it is that people stay calm, record what they see, and share it responsibly. These call-ins are giving us a live mosaic of tonight's phenomenon.
Dean, and we'll continue reading every call, every text, every report as it comes in. To those on the line, your observations matter. Even a flicker, a hum, a pulse, it's part of the bigger picture. And right now, the picture is still forming. We don't know what will happen next, but together we're witnessing it unfold.
Exactly, Ivy. Keep your radios on, your devices close, and your eyes on your surroundings. Every pulse counts, every blink matters. This is real-time history in the making, and you're part of it.
Dean, the next call is from a listener in Chicago. They say multiple streetlights blinked in a sequence, and their neighbors saw it too. It's like the pattern is extending beyond single buildings now, larger scale. Dean, that's starting to feel coordinated.
Coordinated, Ivy? Yes. And that's why tonight is unlike anything we've ever experienced. We'll keep tracking it. We'll keep reporting. And we'll keep our ears open to every heartbeat of this event. Listeners, you are not alone. We're all here together, witnessing, documenting, and sharing what the world is experiencing.
Exactly, Dean. Stay tuned, stay observant, and remember, we're here with you until the very last pulse fades. This is real, this is happening, and together we'll see it through.
Listeners, this is Dean Harper, still on the air with Ivy Gray. I'll be honest, sitting here, hearing all these reports, seeing the patterns come in, there's a weight in the room. Ivy, I know you feel it too, right?
I do, Dean. It's hard to ignore. We're trained to stay calm, to report objectively, but the sheer scale of tonight, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Every report, every flicker, every pulse builds this uneasy rhythm in the air. And Dean, knowing there's only an hour until the predicted EMP, that adds a pressure we can't shake.
Exactly. I keep looking at the monitors, Ivy, and the precision of these anomalies. The flickers, the hums, the pulses. It's deliberate. There's no randomness here, at least not fully. And we're just a small part of a global observation, a tiny node in a network of millions watching the same thing.
That's what's unsettling, Dean. It's not just technical or scientific, it's personal. Every citizen experiencing this, every engineer, every listener on the line tuning, we're all feeling it together. And that makes the unknown feel immediate, tangible, like the world is holding its breath along with us. Dean, I can't stop thinking about the people out there alone, seeing flickers and hums, wondering if they're imagining it.
Ivy, me too. And that's why this broadcast matters more than ever. We're the calm voice in the night, the tether to reality. But even we feel the tension. I catch myself glancing at the emergency lights in the studio, checking the backup generators, the monitors. It's like anticipating a storm that hasn't yet hit. Ivy, listeners, it's that anticipation that is the hardest part.
And yet, Dean, there's also a strange clarity in it. We're focused, hyper-aware, noticing details we would normally overlook. Every pulse, every flicker becomes meaningful. It's almost meditative, in a way, even as it's unnerving. And Dean, we have to maintain that focus for everyone listening. The reports, the calm guidance, the context. That's our job.
Absolutely. And Ivy, I can feel it in the room, a mix of dread and awe. The world outside is unpredictable tonight, but here we have control. We can inform, observe, and connect. And that's what our listeners need, to know they're not alone, that someone sees and understands what they're experiencing. Ivy, it's heavy, but it's our duty to stay grounded.
And Dean, I think it's okay to acknowledge that heaviness. The unknown can feel frightening. But we stay on air. We keep sharing, keep observing, keep documenting. Listeners, if you feel that unease, that tension rising with us, know that it's natural. Pay attention, prepare, and stay calm. That's the best way through this night.
Exactly, Ivy. And together, we'll guide everyone through these final minutes before the predicted event. Each signal, each flicker, each call from you out there, it matters. Stay with us and stay observant. Ivy, we've been here a long while already, but the hour ahead, it's critical.
It is, Dean. And we'll face it together, on the air, with our listeners and with each other. Stay tuned, stay safe, and keep your radios on. History is unfolding tonight, and we're all witnessing it.
Listeners, this is Dean Harper, still live with Ivy Gray. We're now officially under 1 hour until the predicted EMP. Ivy, the reports keep streaming in. More flickers, more hums, more devices acting strangely. It's picking up, isn't it?
Yes, Dean. And it's subtle, but relentless. Streetlights, radios, computers, tiny anomalies, almost imperceptible individually, but together forming a pattern that's impossible to ignore. The closer we get to 0 hour, the more frequent the pulses. Dean, I'm noticing even our studio monitors are picking up minor interference now.
Exactly, Ivy. And listeners, if you're at home, pay attention to the small things. The hums, the flickers, the devices restarting unexpectedly. They may seem minor, but they're part of the same phenomenon affecting millions across the globe. Ivy, even the phones are buzzing with incoming messages at a rate I've never seen.
Dean, the urgency is real. Emergency services are issuing advisories in major cities. Keep your devices charged, have flashlights and batteries ready. Secure sensitive electronics. They're not saying panic, but the language is cautious for a reason. And every passing minute feels heavier. Dean, can you feel it in the air?
I can, Ivy. It's like the tension has a pulse of its own, syncing with the anomalies outside. Even here in the studio, I feel the charge, literal and metaphorical. And Ivy, our listeners deserve honesty. This is the last hour before we might see full-scale disruption. We don't know exactly what will happen, but we're watching history unfold in real time.
And Dean, every call, every text, every report we're receiving reinforces that reality. People are watching, recording, observing. Some are calm, some are panicked, some are just silent, holding their breath. And that's understandable. The uncertainty is the hardest part, Dean. Even I feel my own heart rate climbing with each update.
Ivy, it's natural. And that's why we remain here, on air, giving voice to the moment, guiding listeners through it. This is what we do. Narrate the unknown as it happens, providing context, clarity, and reassurance. Listeners, focus on what you can control. Your safety, your awareness, your preparation.
Exactly, Dean. And remember, you're not alone. Every flicker you see, every pulse you hear is part of a global tapestry that we're all experiencing together. We'll continue to share every observation, every update as it comes in. And Dean, I'm seeing minor surges in the power grid reports right now. Nothing catastrophic yet, but definitely noticeable.
That's right, Ivy. And as we count down, keep monitoring, keep noting. The final 60 minutes may pass quietly, or they may accelerate into the unknown. Ivy, we'll stay here, reporting, observing, guiding our listeners minute by minute. History is on our doorstep.
And Dean, we're committed to seeing it through every second. Listeners, keep your radios close, stay calm, and remember, awareness is power. The hour ahead is critical, and together we will track it as it unfolds right here on this frequency.
Listeners, this is Dean Harper with Ivy Gray. As the minutes tick down toward the predicted EMP, we want to give a bit of context, help everyone understand what might be happening. Ivy, want to start us off?
Absolutely, Dean. For those tuning in late, an EMP, or electromagnetic pulse, is a sudden burst of electromagnetic energy. It can interfere with electrical systems, communications, and electronics. Usually, we only see it in simulations or isolated incidents, but tonight, we're tracking anomalies that have the potential to act like a wide-area EMP. Dean, that's why every flicker, every pulse is being taken so seriously.
Right, Ivy. Historically, EMPs have been caused by high-altitude nuclear tests, solar storms, or theoretically, some unknown cosmic events. The last confirmed major solar EMP was decades ago, and it affected satellites and power grids briefly. But tonight feels different. The anomalies are global, precise, and rhythmic. That's not typical for a solar storm.
Exactly, Dean. And that's what experts are saying, too. They're seeing patterns that don't match anything in the historical record. Streetlights, radios, computers. The disruptions aren't random. They follow subtle rhythms, almost like a heartbeat in the electronic systems. Dean, even our own monitors here in the studio have picked up slight voltage shifts and minor signal noise.
And Ivy, that's why the global advisory is so important. Agencies around the world are monitoring continuously, preparing contingency plans for the worst-case scenario. Hospitals, emergency services, transportation systems, they're on alert. But again, listeners, this is still a prediction, not confirmation. We don't know exactly how intense it will be, if it will happen at all.
Dean, one thing to note is that even minor EMP events can cascade. A small pulse in one grid can affect others, and electronics everywhere can become temporarily unreliable. That's why our advice remains. Charge essential devices, have flashlights and batteries ready, and stay calm. Panic won't help, but awareness and preparation will. Dean, it's remarkable. People around the world are reporting the same subtle disruptions simultaneously.
Absolutely, Ivy. And think about that for a moment. Millions of people, thousands of devices, multiple continents experiencing anomalies in near real time. It's unprecedented. And that's why keeping this channel open matters. We can give context, share verified reports, and help people understand what's normal and what's not in the next critical hour.
Exactly, Dean. And to our listeners, don't ignore the small details. Every flicker of light, every hum in your electronics, every pulse. Record it if you can. This data is invaluable for scientists and engineers trying to track tonight's event. Even in uncertainty, we can act methodically and responsibly.
Right, Ivy. And just a reminder, this isn't meant to frighten anyone. EMPs are rare, and the chances of catastrophic damage are low. But vigilance is key. Keep radios on, follow updates from trusted sources, and stay in contact with family and neighbors. Ivy, I can feel the tension rising, even here in the studio. Can you?
I can, Dean. But it's a focused tension, not panic. We're watching history unfold, minute by minute, and we'll continue to guide everyone through it, staying calm, precise, and observant. Every second counts, Dean. And we're right here with you, listeners, until the end.
Listeners, Dean Harper here, still live with Ivy Gray. We're officially less than 30 minutes from the predicted EMP. Ivy, the anomalies are increasing. More flickers, more pulses, more reports flooding in from across the globe.
Dean, I can confirm that. Just in the last 5 minutes, we've seen calls from Los Angeles, New York, London, and Tokyo. Each describes repeated electrical flickers, hums, and strange static patterns on radios and televisions. And Dean, even our backup monitors here are picking up faint interference in real time.
Exactly, Ivy. Listeners, if you're noticing these anomalies, lights flickering, devices rebooting, subtle vibrations or hums, you're not imagining it. The patterns are precise and synchronized across locations, and the intensity seems to be growing. Ivy, the rhythm almost feels deliberate now, doesn't it?
It does, Dean. Almost like a pulse. Steady, expanding, echoing through grids and devices. And it's consistent. Not random at all. Some of our listeners describe a low-frequency vibration you can hear if you're near a radio or appliance. Dean, I have to admit, it's becoming more than unsettling. It's undeniable.
And Ivy, it's important everyone listening remains calm. We're still in the observation stage, but the intensifying signals mean we need to focus on preparedness. Charge your essential devices, have flashlights ready, secure sensitive electronics, and stay aware. Panic won't help, but vigilance will.
Dean, another thing. The calls are not just about electronics. Some listeners are reporting physical sensations, tingling in the skin, faint pressure in the chest, almost like a subtle magnetic field affecting them. While we can't confirm physiological effects yet, it's being noted worldwide. Dean, that's an entirely new layer to this event.
Absolutely, Ivy. And that's why we're keeping this frequency live. You need real-time information, context, and guidance. Every flicker, every pulse, every hum we report is happening simultaneously with millions of others. Ivy, the world is holding its breath along with us.
Dean, yes. And let's be clear. We're now entering the final stretch, less than 30 minutes. Listeners, continue documenting what you see and hear. Stay indoors if you can. Avoid using unnecessary electronics, and stay tuned here. Dean, I can feel the tension rising in the studio. Even the crew is on edge.
It's palpable, Ivy. Every pulse we detect, every report we read, it builds anticipation. But remember, this is why we're trained. To stay focused, alert, and calm. The hour ahead will define tonight, and we're here to guide you through every second. Ivy, let's keep our eyes on the monitors and ears on the lines.
Exactly, Dean. And to our listeners, this is history unfolding. Keep listening, stay safe, and know that every observation you make, every flicker, every hum, every pulse, matters. Together we'll witness what comes next.
Neither have I, Ivy. And I've been behind this mic through storms, quakes, even blackouts. But this is different. This isn't nature misbehaving. It's something deeper, more coordinated. You can feel it in the air, like the static before lightning, but stretched across continents. Our signal meters are fluctuating every few seconds now, but somehow the main feed holds steady. Listeners, if you're hearing this, that means your radio's still alive, still pulling this fragile thread of sound through the interference. Keep it close. It might be the last thing that stays constant.
Dean, the global monitoring agencies are confirming something incredible. The rhythmic spikes, the ones we've been tracking all night, have aligned. Every pulse, every frequency now converges within a single narrow band. It's almost elegant in its precision. Whatever is happening, it's not chaos, it's structure. Some scientists are calling it a resonant event. Others think it's a cascade, the planet's magnetic field reacting, harmonizing before impact. The math, they say, shouldn't even be possible.
A resonant event. That term alone gives me chills, Ivy, because resonance means harmony. And harmony means intent, or at least design. It's as though everything electrical, magnetic, even biological is syncing for a single moment in time. 15 minutes, listeners. That's what we've been told. But no one knows exactly what happens when the countdown ends. Will the skies go dark? Will the hum vanish? Or will we just hear silence?
I don't think anyone truly knows, Dean, but I do know this. Across every city, every country, people are listening. Windows are open, the streets are quiet, cars have stopped. It's as if humanity has collectively paused to hear what's coming. I've got messages flooding in, parents holding radios beside their children, pilots grounding their planes voluntarily, hospitals switching to manual backups just in case. This is no longer about fear. It's reverence. We're watching something bigger than us unfold.
You're right, Ivy. Reverence is the word. For the first time in my life, I can feel unity. No politics, no noise, no distraction, just one shared moment. Fragile, uncertain, and entirely human. The monitors are fluctuating faster now. We're entering the 10-minute mark. If you're listening, this is your moment to steady yourself. Whatever comes, you'll remember this frequency. You'll remember this silence between the static.
10 minutes, Dean. The hum's louder now. The signal distortion's bleeding into our audio. You can probably hear it, listeners, like a faint heartbeat behind our voices. That's not an equipment error. That's the world aligning second by second. Hold on to your radios, your loved ones, your breath. Dean, if this is the end of the signal, I just want to say, it's been an honor sharing these airwaves with you.
And with you, Ivy. Whatever comes through that hum, we'll meet it together. On the air, as long as we can hold the line. That's right, Ivy. We're staying here with you through every second. The clock on the wall reads 4 minutes until the predicted EMP window. The hum in our monitors has deepened. Not static, not interference, just a steady vibration that's difficult to ignore. It's beneath everything we say, like the background note of the world itself. Listeners, you might hear it too if your radio's volume is high enough. It's constant now, like a presence just below perception. Ivy, are you feeling that same low pressure in the air?
Yes, Dean. It's in the studio, in the walls, maybe even in our breathing. Listeners, I want you to notice how the air feels right now. There's a strange tension in it, not fear, not danger, but a kind of awareness. Like everything around us has paused. Reports from Tokyo, Berlin, Johannesburg. They're all describing the same thing. Streetlights flickering in perfect rhythm, power fluctuations repeating every few seconds, and even home devices responding on their own. The timing is identical everywhere. Dean, this isn't random anymore.
No, Ivy, it's not. The Global Monitoring Centers just confirmed that the pulses are happening every 3.2 seconds, measured across every continent. It's the same rhythm, the same pattern, repeating without deviation. That level of precision doesn't happen naturally. Listeners, if you're watching your screens or your lights right now, you're seeing what the rest of the world is seeing, a global synchronization. It's as if the planet itself has fallen into a shared heartbeat.
Dean, the updates coming through are extraordinary. Observatories are detecting small electromagnetic spikes, not destructive, but consistent. And not chaotic either. It's like something large is adjusting, aligning itself. Listeners, keep in mind, this isn't confirmed as an attack, not confirmed as natural. It's simply happening. The systems are holding for now. Communications remain intact, but the interference is rising by the second. Dean, even our signal meter is starting to drift, but it keeps correcting itself. It's like something doesn't want us to lose transmission.
And we won't, Ivy. We'll hold this line as long as the airwaves allow. We're now less than 2 minutes from the expected event window. The reports are getting harder to sort. Some regions are going quiet, others doubling their transmissions. Europe's feeds are flickering. South America's partially down, but most of North America is still online. Listeners, you are part of the last global thread that's still holding steady. If you can hear this, it means we're still connected.
Dean, this is unprecedented. The pulse is no longer faint. The rhythm is strong enough that it's registering on handheld sensors, even home microphones. People are describing the same sensation worldwide. A subtle vibration underfoot, a hum in the chest, pressure in the ears. It's universal, almost synchronized with the pulse rate itself. And through it all, the atmosphere outside remains completely calm. No storms, no visible disturbances, just this invisible rhythm binding everything together.
1 minute, Ivy. Just one. Listeners, if you're still with us, take this time to prepare. Power down sensitive devices, unplug unnecessary systems, keep flashlights and radios ready. Stay calm, stay grounded, and if you lose power, know that you're not alone. The entire world is experiencing this together. Ivy, even here, the lights have stopped flickering. They're steady now. That hum, it's still there, but softer, controlled.
Dean, it's almost serene now. The last data packets from the monitoring stations are coming through. The pulses are perfectly aligned, no fluctuation, no distortion. It's the cleanest pattern we've seen since this began. The world feels still, like everything's waiting for a cue. Listeners, if you can hear us, focus on that stillness. Remember it. Whatever happens next, remember that for one brief moment, every human being on Earth was synchronized, aware of the same rhythm, the same pause.
30 seconds, Ivy. The readings are stable, and I can't help but think this doesn't feel like destruction. It feels like coordination, like something vast but intentional. No chaos, no noise, just alignment. Ivy, I've covered wars, disasters, storms, but nothing has ever felt like this. It's not fear, it's clarity. Pure, sharp, undeniable clarity.
10 seconds, Dean. The hum is leveling off. The air feels still. Every screen in the studio is frozen on the same image, static but bright. Listeners, stay calm, stay present. Whatever this is, we're witnessing it together right now.
5 seconds, Ivy. This is Dean Harper with Ivy Gray. And wherever you are, whatever happens next, you're not alone. Keep listening. Dean Harper. Exactly, Ivy. And to all listeners, stay tuned, stay alert, and stay connected. We're experiencing something the world has never seen before, and will continue to report every pulse, every flicker, every hum, right here. Ivy, the final countdown is upon us. The tension is overwhelming, but we stay vigilant.
Dean, less than 2 minutes now. Every light, every device, every observer across the globe is synchronizing with the unknown. It's mesmerizing, terrifying, and historic all at once. Hold steady, listeners, and stay with us through this.
And Ivy, here we are, the final minute. History is happening right now. Stay focused, stay calm, and we'll continue tracking, reporting, and guiding you through every second. Listeners, this is Dean Harper, live with Ivy Gray. The predicted EMP window is now. We are experiencing it. Ivy, the first signals are coming in. What are you seeing?
Dean, the monitors are flickering wildly. Streetlights outside are blinking uncontrollably. Radios are filling with static bursts, some devices shutting down completely. It's happening everywhere at once. The reports are pouring in. Dean, it's intense, but we are holding on air, and you at home should do the same.
Absolutely, Ivy. Listeners, if your lights flicker, devices fail, don't panic. This is exactly what was predicted. Keep flashlights and essentials close. Stay inside if you can, and remain calm. Ivy, the pulses we tracked for weeks, the low-frequency hums, the rhythmic flickers, they're now amplified, echoing across grids globally.
Dean, call-ins are frantic but clear. People are reporting synchronized effects. Traffic lights, communication systems, even elevators briefly stalling. It's widespread but short-lived, Dean. If you're listening, remember, remain calm, stay safe, and don't attempt to use damaged electronics.
Exactly, Ivy. We're receiving reports from every continent. In some cities, minor blackouts are occurring, but essential systems seem resilient. It's a global event, unprecedented in scale, and you're witnessing it in real time. Ivy, the tension here in the studio is palpable, but our focus remains guiding our listeners.
Dean, the EMP effects appear to be peaking now, but already I see the first signs of stabilization. Monitors are returning to baseline. Devices are rebooting. It seems the worst of it may be over. Listeners, continue to exercise caution. Aftershocks and electronics can occur, but the immediate pulse is passing.
That's right, Ivy. And remember, this is history. you've experienced a global EMP, watched, listened, and shared it live. Stay calm, check on loved ones, and observe your surroundings. Ivy, despite the chaos, I can feel a strange sense of unity. Millions of people all experiencing the same moment together.
Dean, it's surreal. The world went dark in pulses, yet here we are, guiding listeners through every second. This shared experience, fear, awe, uncertainty, brought a moment of connection unlike anything else. History will be remembered tonight, and every report, every observation matters.
Listeners, we are starting to see stabilization across global reports. Lights are returning, devices rebooting, grids stabilizing. Ivy, our final guidance?
Dean, stay calm, continue monitoring your surroundings, document any anomalies, and check in with family and neighbors. You lived through a historic moment, and now the world begins to recover. Dean, I think we can safely say the immediate event has passed.
Exactly, Ivy. And to all our listeners, thank you for staying with us through the entire broadcast. This is Dean Harper and Ivy Gray, station 98.3 FM, signing off from the continuous coverage of the global EMP event. We'll be here for updates as the world adjusts, but for now, take a breath, stay safe, and reflect on the historic night we've shared.
Dean, it's been an honor to guide our listeners through this unprecedented moment. Remember, humanity faced the unknown together tonight, and together we'll move forward. This is Ivy Gray and Dean Harper, final sign-off. Stay safe.
Final transmission, listeners, end of signal.